Alright. Hey guys, welcome back to another RPG vlog. It's me, Irvs, again. And once again, it's been a little while since I've talked to y'all. I was busy finishing up the quarter in university, so haven't been able to work on the project all too much until now. Uh, but a little bit of personal things. I've finally finished my second year of university. Man, college has just been amazing. Especially in terms of my growth as an individual and as a game developer. I've met many new people and I've just learned so many things. But now that I'm going to be a junior, I have to start worrying about internships and so I need to spend this summer really beefing up my portfolio and prepping for, coding interviews. And so that is exactly what I'm doing right now with this and, several other projects that I'm doing. But, enough about all that. Let's talk about what you guys really came here for, which was, the RPG. Now, as I've mentioned before, this RPG might look a little different from what you guys might have been following. In the other vlogs that I had been doing before. The other one was, I guess, more akin to, like Dark Souls, while this one is meant to be more Diablo-esque slash Path of Exile-esque. And that's because while I was making the Dark Souls-like one, I was much more inexperienced, and there are a lot of things I didn't really account for in my software architecture, which inevitably caused it to become a really big mess as I scaled up. And so I decided to create a massive overhaul of the project and take what I've learned about making an RPG and with better understanding of programming and Unity to translate it onto a blank slate, which became this project that you see here. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm discontinuing the Dark Souls-like one. I'm just still in the middle of refactoring it, which is currently leaving it in an unplayable state, and so I haven't really made any progress besides what you might have last saw. And though, and so I'm still working on it. It's just at the moment, not. And I will not lie, progress on, refactoring has been a bit slow because of the sort of lower priority it has compared to some of these other projects like this and other ones. But yeah, I just want to reiterate on that before I jump back into it. Now to this. The first thing you can see is that I've actually went through the trouble of making a legitimate environment now. This was probably the only work that I've been able to do within the past few months since my last video, as I didn't want to get knee deep into gameplay programming during the quarter. So I decided to make this, generic fantasy forest village environment, typical of RPGs. I've added a bit of foliage, there are props in which I've passed, so I'll go back to it. These props, there's particle effects for smoke and fire, and check this out, there's water. Crazy, right? Last time, if you saw in my other video, I had just spray painted it blue, and just which meant to signify as it being water. And I was just getting tired of looking at my plain ass scene from before, and just wanted to be able to breathe some life into the game and convince myself I wasn't blowing it off during the quarter. That way, now that I'm working on it, it's actually it looks pretty nice, and I won't have to go through the trouble of doing that while I'm adding systems. Now, the next thing you might have noticed before, if you peek your eyes, are these different weapons lying around on the ground here. Now, this is just a setup for once I start working on inventory and inventory items again soon. Now, each weapon will have their own unique set of animations. this is primarily for the battle stance and the actual attack animation. Now it'll have a different one depending on if it's a long range or it's a short range weapon, you know, the deal. And each weapon are capable of doing their own basic attack, what I just showed you right here, or which I've just shown you. But their primary purpose is really to provide stats to buff your character and your abilities. Now, the ability system I've been working on only has very basic abilities right now, which you can see right here. Right now there's only this AoE ability and this self-heal. They both have pretty horrible animations, but I'm pretty proud of the particles. So they're each binded to their respective buttons, so I don't have really much UI yet, but this would be binded to like your Q and this would be binded to your W. There will definitely be more than 2 slots for your abilities, but this is all I've got for now, and so that's why there's only 2. So if I were to press them, now if I can just gather them all up for the AoE ability. Let's see. There. Yeah, that's the AoE ability, which will just, you know, in a circle around it, it will do damage to anyone who's standing nearby. And this heal I got right here, which will, you know, heal you. And they deplete from your mana bar, which regenerates over time very, very slowly. But this can be buffed, like I said, by the items in which you'd be able to pick up. Or, I'll get to that. So, right now, I'm on a prototype character who will have access to all these different abilities, but eventually these abilities will be locked off for the different classes in the game. I just haven't gotten around to, you know, actually implementing characters for, you know, these different classes yet. I've set up a very general system using scriptable objects for these abilities, and there are different configs. That way it makes it very simple to make all sorts of different effects. And now it's really just a matter of, you know, making these new effects and these new abilities and new particles and stuff. So now I've mentioned that the equipment will be the main driving force for progressing your character. And what I mean is that they will provide all sorts of different stats upon equipping them. For example, a weapon you might find on the ground might have a percentage modifier that will increase the damage that you do with your basic attacks and your abilities, maybe by like 12%. Or maybe you'll find a ring that raises your vitality by 10, which increases your max health points by 100. So essentially, items will play a very heavy role in your progression within this game, which is what I'm in the middle of working on right now. You'll notice here that I have a level and experience bar right here, right? So right now I'm level 4, and so I will kill these enemies, which will net me more experience. Killing this one should give me enough to level up. I'm just gonna spam this. And okay, so upon leveling up, you'll see that level up particle effect play right there, and then the sound effects. And what you might not notice is that my HP and my maximum health points and my maximum mana points will actually increase now that I'm a higher level. My base damage will also increase as well. I don't know if you noticed from the damage sex number, but right then I was doing 31 damage, but now that I'm level 5, if I were to kill someone else, now I'm doing 35. And so right now I'm in the very middle of my stats system, in which I'm going to be adding more stats such as strength to, you know, increase my damage upon increasing my strength, dexterity to increase my, I don't know, evasion slash crit chance, vitality to increase my defense and HP, intelligence to increase my magic damage, and things like that, which will, so once I have those in, I can start building on it with the actual item slash inventory system that I said I would be making, which will have all sorts of different modifiers that will buff you in different ways upon having or equipping those items. But yeah, this is what I've been working on so far. Uh, Once I finish implementing stats and further polishing my abilities, slash ability system, I'm going to transition into questing and dialogue and other cool stuff. As you might have noticed, the audio that's playing right now, it didn't really it didn't persist upon reloading, and it just sort of looped back to the beginning. So there's a lot of audio fixes that are audio implementation that I need to do as well. But that's all polished stuff. But yeah, I hope you're looking forward to it all. Now that I'm on summer, I will definitely have more time to, you know, update the RPG and thus post RPG update videos. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.